if you can understand sentences that you read, you can also build your own sentences too. With a little bit of guidance, you'll see. By the end of this video, you'll know a repeatable formula for building your own French sentences without second-guessing yourself. We'll go through some examples that you can start using right away. I'm Tavy Baisley of French Speak, and I've helped thousands of English-speaking adults go from frozen to speaking fluidly. And using these simple structures like the ones inside my French Sentence Builder 101 course. If this sounds like the kind of French support you're looking for, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the little bell so that you never miss one of these lessons. So let's start with the simplest structure in the French language. We're going to look at an affirmative statement, a subject plus a verb plus an object. The subject is a fancy grammatical term we use for the person or the thing doing the action. The verb is the action word, and the object is usually receiving the action. We use this formula all the time in English. I read a book. She drinks a coffee. They watch the game. In French, we do the same. Je lis un livre. I read a book. Elle boit un café. She drinks a coffee. Ils regardent le match. They watch the game. So the order is very much like in English. But where it gets trickier is the little word or words before the object and after the verb. And that's mistake number one that I see. In English, those articles are often missing. You will have subject, verb, and the object has no little words before. For example, I eat bread. She drinks water. We read books. They don't eat meat. So here are 3 steps and 3 essential questions that you can ask yourself to determine what that small article can be. Remember, if it's a thing that you're talking about, you'll need an article in French. Question 1, if the thing is uncountable, like bread or water, you can't say 1, 2, 3 bread or 1, 2, 3 water. So if the thing is uncountable, you'll need what we call a partitive article. In English, that's the word some. And it's often just implied in English. In French, we'll have the options of using du, de la, or de l, and it's L apostrophe, depending on what comes after. Question 2 is if the thing is countable. For plural things, like books, you'll need to use des, D-E-S, des, even if there's nothing in English. And third question is if the sentence is negative, the article de, needs to be added, where in English you would have an implied space for the word any to go. So they don't eat meat, they don't eat any meat. That would go where the any is implied, even though it's not there in the sentence to start with. So let's look at our examples. Starting with the negative one, they don't eat meat. We don't say il ne mange pas viande, but il ne mange pas de viande. For I eat bread, it's something that's uncountable, but it's masculine. So the masculine some is du. So don't say je mange pain, but je mange du pain. She drinks water. Water is another uncountable noun. Don't say elle boit eau, but instead elle boit de l'eau. This one starts with a vowel. That's why we use de, l with the apostrophe. And we read books is countable, 1, 2, 3 books, but it's plural. So when it's plural, In French, we won't say nous lisons livres, but we read books. Nous lisons des livres. Nous lisons des livres. So that is one of the top mistakes I see when trying to build these simple sentences, which really plays with your confidence levels. And it's usually because you haven't been taught these rules. The second mistake that I see the most when forming basic sentences, it's that English speakers don't recognize the shortcuts that the French language actually takes. Think of these variations in English. I'm eating 2 croissants. I eat 2 croissants. Or even, I do eat. All 3 versions are a little bit different and they vary in English. But in French, they're going to still use the same formula. And it comes down to recognizing that they're the same. A subject plus verb plus object. That's the formula. Je mange 2 croissants. Subject is je, verb is mange, and object, we have 2 here, 2 croissants. Many learners will express I'm eating by starting with je suis and then try to deal with the verb to eat, which will inevitably lead to confusions. So when the sentence is in the present tense, it's happening right now or on a regular basis, then the French present verb is just one word. So you take the verb and it fits in one word. There's no am followed by eating. It's happening right now. It's just to eat in French, mange. Now it's your turn to try. Grab a paper and I will give you a prompt and you'll try to express it in French. Are you ready? I'll focus on affirmative sentences using the present tense only for the purpose of this video. How would you express I'm eating oysters? I'm eating oysters. In French, you will use that same formula. Remember our rule about plurals? Oysters is a plural. So don't forget the magic little article there. We will have je mange des huîtres. Huîtres is the word for oysters. Je mange des huîtres. Sentence number 2. We buy bread in this bakery. If you're not sure how to finish it, just do we buy bread. This rule is still a subject, a verb, and an object. But because the object is a thing, we need to remember the little article. Bread is something we can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4 bread. We will therefore need to use the little word some. We buy, nous achetons bread. What's implied here is some bread, du pain, dans cette boulangerie. Bonus points if you got the whole thing. Nous achetons du pain dans cette boulangerie. Numéro 3. You're reading books. You're reading books. How would you say that in French? Vous lisez des livres. I didn't specify if you was formal or informal, singular or plural. So you could also use tu, but vous will be for several people or someone you don't know very well. You're being polite with, a little bit formal, vous. Vous lisez des livres. Don't forget the little article des before books. It's plural and we need it in French. We do yoga every day. Numéro 4. We do yoga every day. In French, you will say nous faisons du yoga tous les jours. Nous faisons du yoga tous les jours. We add that extra du because yoga is masculine in French. So that little extra article is because we don't say 1, 2, 3 yoga. It is an uncountable noun. We are going to use the little word some to fill that gap that's needed in French. Nous faisons, we do, du yoga, some yoga, tous les jours, every day. Literally here, all the days, every day, tous les jours. Numéro 5. Try to say, she is wearing sunscreen. She is wearing sunscreen. If you don't know the word for sunscreen, I will teach you in a minute. You can say she is wearing and a piece of clothing. How did you go with this one? In French, we will say elle porte. Remember that even though it's is wearing, 2 words in English, we'll just have one verb. For présent, elle porte de la crème solaire. Some sunscreen. De la, for feminine. Crème solaire is a feminine. And the last one, a final sentence, numéro 6. You're drinking my coffee. You're drinking my coffee. How would you say that in French? In French, you will say, tu bois mon café. Tu bois mon café. You could also do a version with vous. I chose to think that I made 2 cups of coffee and my husband is drinking my coffee. I would definitely use tu for loved ones and family. Tu bois mon café. So, quick question before we move on. Which sentences out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 was the hardest for you to make? Post it in the comments and I'll reply to you with some tips if needed. It will also give me ideas for future videos, so I know where most of the tricky bits are for you. So don't forget, like the video if this helped you, share it with a friend who's learning French like you, and subscribe, click the bell to get notified when I share the next video. If you'd like a step-by-step short course where within 10 days I guide you to create 101 beginner French sentences, check out my course in the link below called French Sentence Builder 101. You will find the link in the description. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. À bientôt!